Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Its-A-Mii here, and today we're doing another Nintendo Switch 2 game unboxing. This time we're checking out the physical version of Hogwarts Legacy on Nintendo Switch 2. Of course, if you are new here and you enjoy Nintendo Switch 2 unboxings, I've been posting a ton of them. Definitely go give those a watch and subscribe for more. Let's get into it. Okay, people, welcome back. Today we're doing Hogwarts Legacy now. This one didn't go up for pre-order until way after everything else. It was weird. I had to go back to GameStop to pre-order it. I have never played Hogwarts Legacy. I do have the Switch 1 version here because I wanted to compare how the Switch 1 version runs. It was like, I don't know, 15 bucks on eBay or something, because I've heard the Switch 1 version is so different with all of the load screens. But we have Hogwarts Legacy on Nintendo Switch 2 here. I just got done rewatching these movies with Olivia. It was her first time seeing them all the way through. Not like a huge Harry Potter kid or anything. Like, I don't have a ton of nostalgia for him, but I like Hogwarts. I like going to Diagon Alley at Universal. You know, it's fun. It's fun. I appreciate the world of Harry Potter, I suppose. So I've been interested in checking out the game, especially having just come off the rewatch of all of the movies, and I decided to pick it up on Nintendo Switch 2. So here we have the front of the box. Now, this is actually a completely different box art than before. Let me know in the comments down below, which box art do you think is better for Hogwarts Legacy? I gotta give the win to the original, although I can appreciate them doing something completely different with this one. Although I do think I like this one more. This one's kind of cool. You're on your big griffin or whatever with your wand out. This one, I don't know though. This box art, like, it really, they both show Hogwarts, so like that's the appeal, right? It's like, oh look, you can go there, you can be there yourself. But I think I like the original box art more for this game. This is a game keycard release, as you would expect. However, what's crazy to me is this is a 24 gig download. That feels pretty small for what this game is, especially having I just opened up Sonic Shadow Generations. That video will be up before this one, and this one's also 24 gigs. You're telling me these are the same size game? That just feels a little weird to me, especially based on what we've seen of this version of the game. It looks like a really great port of Hogwarts onto Switch 2, so a little odd there. Here we have the spine of the game, very basic, wrapping the art around with the white text saying Hogwarts Legacy. Of course, comparing that to the Switch spine. I prefer the Switch 2 one. I'm definitely, the Switch 2 boxes are winning me over. I still think this is dumb, and the game keycard thing certainly takes something away from it, but overall, they are kind of growing on me a little bit as we do more and more of these videos. The back of the box, these are actually kind of different here, so we'll read through this here. It says, Live the Unwritten. Hogwarts Legacy is an immersive open-world action RPG set in the world first introduced in the Harry Potter books. Now you can take control of the action and be at the center of your own adventure in the wizarding world. Your legacy is what you make of it. Explore an open world, be the witch or wizard you want to be, experience a new wizarding world adventure. So I'll be real, I mean, I've seen clips of this game. I don't, like, how big is it? Like, how when they say open world action RPG, like, how much are you going outside of the school? Because most of what I've seen, you're like in like a basic grassy area, maybe a forest or something, but most of what I've seen is really just you wandering the halls of Hogwarts, which inherently I think that'll be fun and cool, and I'm not sure how like the combat is, but I feel like this will be a game I enjoy when I actually give it a go. So let's go ahead and crack into it and see if there's anything on the inside. We'll compare it to the Switch 1 innards, I suppose, see if the box art has like a reversible cover or anything, maybe a manual. Port key games, that'd be cool. WB, probably not. I'm expecting it to be completely blank on the inside. If well, here, let's do a little foreshadowing. What's on the inside of the Switch 1 version? Let's see here. Okay, there is a piece of paper. Will there at least be a piece of paper? Oh, that's weird. There's a T rating there. Will there at least be a piece of paper in the Switch 2 version? Let's find out. And open her up here. No, there is not. So a very basic physical release from WB, not the greatest effort. Weird that they put the T rating on the inside, but here are the cartridges for the Switch 1 and Switch 2 version of this game. Worth noting, if you're anti-game keycard, unfortunately for you, there is no way to get this game on an actual piece of physical media, right? You can't get it on the disc version for PS5 because that requires a download. The Switch version requires a download, and now the Switch 2 version requires a download. So similar to Hitman, you're out of luck if you want to own this game like 100% on a disc or on a cartridge, which is unfortunate if that is something important to you. For me, I don't mind having to download it too much, although it is 24 gigs, that's not too bad. After just downloading Hitman, which was 61 gigs or whatever, like I think I'm gonna survive with a 24 gig download on my Switch 2. Okay, let's go ahead and pop this into our Switch 2 and see if the icon, I assume it's the same icon as the Switch 1 version, although I've never put that in my Switch, so I don't even know. I don't even know what it would look like. I do want to give that version a go, though, just to see, like, it looks pretty drastic what they changed with this version. So let's go ahead and get this downloading here next to my Hitman and my Sonic. Oh, it must be a different icon then. You know what? We're going to do a live test right now. I want to put the Switch 1 version in to see if it's an entirely different icon. Also, if you're watching this and you know the answer, let me know. There's an upgrade path. Is it like cross-saved with the Switch 1 version? But I guess more importantly, like PS5 and Series X and PC. I'm not sure. But let's put the Switch 1 game in. Interesting, yeah. So there actually are two different logos for this one. Interestingly, this one doesn't pop up with a download immediately. You have to click on it, whereas this one does. So there's two different versions of Hogwarts Legacy now on Nintendo. One which has a lot of load screens, and one which doesn't and runs much better. So we're going to swap over to the handheld gameplay as well as my first impressions of Hogwarts Legacy. Right now, I know there is either mouse controls or gyro controls with the wand, I want to say. So I'm going to try and see if I can do that as well and give you some impressions of that. But let's switch over. Okay, I just played through the first hour of Hogwarts Legacy on Nintendo Switch 2, and my first takeaway is, good lord, this game looks so much better than the Switch version. Now, the Switch version I thought was a pretty good port overall from what I'd seen. I'm going to put up a little bit of comparison shots that Nintendo themselves uploaded on their YouTube channel so you can get an idea of how it compares to the Switch 1 original version. But seeing it brought over to Switch 2 in a way that more resembles the PS5 and Series X and PC versions is really nice. I mean, this is one of the most popular third-party games that was on Switch, so it makes sense that they wanted to work with WB to get a native Switch 2 version running up as fast as possible. That is more in line with those versions. The game runs and looks really good in handheld mode, no complaints here. The texture work especially, like, it's still weird to me that we're getting games of this caliber on a Nintendo handheld. We already had it on Switch 1, but to see like the proper quality textures from the other versions on a Switch 2 is it's kind of surreal, to be honest, to see something of like a more traditional, how you think of like, oh, this is really good graphics, like to see something like that on Nintendo is it's just a little weird so far, but I'm not complaining. I will say, I don't know if it's like this on PS5, some of the character models, like the hair and stuff like that, kind of look a little weird, a little bit off, but that might just be an engine thing with how they do hair or something. Playing through the opening, though, kind of a slow burn for the opening of this game. You start off with this Professor Fig character, and the port key has taken you around to all these different places. You do some light puzzle solving with a couple of spells. You learn how to attack enemies, but also parry them, or, you know, block them, but also parry them. And it's fine. I don't know. The story especially, I can't say I'm too invested in so far. Just seems like it's Harry Potter, which, once again, like I said earlier, I like Harry Potter, but I'm not like the biggest Harry Potter fan. Because immediately I got to Hogwarts and you have all these characters talking about butterbeer and all these different types of potions and stuff, and they're just name dropping a bunch of random Harry Potter stuff. And as someone who's watched the movies, like, it's cool, but I think that's more catered towards like the hardcore Harry Potter fans, which is good. I mean, that's what this game should be. They should be catering to those fans. But for me, some of that stuff is a little lost on me. So the story and characters, I'm not sure how invested I'm really going to be in this game. However, I do think the gameplay is fun so far. I only have a couple of spells, just pressing ZR on the controller to you know, shoot your wand shots. It's basically a third-person shooter, but you use a wand instead of a gun, which is, I mean, that inherently is kind of unique. I mean, I don't think I've played too many wizard games. I never played Wizarding 101 back in the day. So just being in the world of Harry Potter, using a wand to attack enemies, feels pretty cool. You have like a little dodge roll. Like I said, you can block and parry. And I assume as I get further in the game, that spell list is going to open up tremendously and really make the gameplay feel a little bit more alive than what I experienced in the opening segment. Like I said, though, that opening, man, it kind of took a little bit to get going. I think I was playing for 40 minutes before like the title popped up of what the game is before you get to Hogwarts. I did get sorted into Gryffindor, so shout out to that. Shout out to the sorting hat. I had to make sure I got the best house. And just wandering around Hogwarts a little bit, the level of detail in like the environments, I guess, is really astonishing. I mean, they really cooked when it came to actually designing the School of Hogwarts and all of the different, just, you know, pieces of furniture around, all of the different, like, pictures and stuff that are on the walls. Like, it feels like it would look in the movie, which is, I mean, that probably wasn't easy to really do. Even, like, walking down the stairs, you had, like, a ghost flying by. So they definitely succeeded in making the school feel like you're actually wandering around Hogwarts. Now, I'm pretty sure this game does not have Quidditch in it, which is funny, because in the opening when you're doing your sorting hats, the professor literally says Quidditch is canceled this season, which is such a cop-out way for them to not put Quidditch in the game. I assume when they get to a sequel, they will do that. I know there's the Quidditch spinoff, but I just thought it was funny that they have like a canon reason of like, well, we don't have time to develop Quidditch, so let's just say the season's canceled this year for the school year, which is a little funny. I did try out the mouse mode at the very end here after I was already out of the enemy section, so just firing my wand at students. but it works pretty well. I don't know if this is a game I would really want to play with, my mouse con on my lap or on a table or whatever, but it is nice to have the option just wandering around aiming your camera or really your mouse cursor to aim your wand and shoot enemies that way. It's nice to have the option. I would say this is a mouse feature that I probably won't use, but it is cool to have it there if you prefer to play that way, get a more PC-like experience with this one on Switch 2. So that is going to do it for this unboxing and early gameplay and impressions for Hogwarts Legacy Switch 2 edition. Once again, there is an upgrade if you already own it on Switch 1. I believe it's a $10 upgrade. This game goes on sale pretty often on the Switch 1 eShop, so that would be a much cheaper alternative than buying this physical version of the game. So do keep that in mind if you're interested in picking it up. I would say if you see a sale or something on the eShop, buy the Switch 1 version and then upgrade for $10. Of course, as always, let me know if you're planning on checking out Hogwarts Legacy on the Switch 2, or if you're content with your Switch 1 or maybe PS5 version of the game, or if you already bought it, what do you think of it so far? What are your impressions of the Switch 2 version? I would love to see those comments as well. As always, subscribe here for more Nintendo Switch 2 unboxings. Follow me on Twitter at BoTalksGames. Check out my Nintendo news channel at BoTalksGames, and you can click on one of the 2 videos on screen now to see even more Switch 2 unboxings. Until next time, folks, peace.